Representative Dillard or Representative Parks, our governor and Senator Graham gave a very polarized speech as relating to H.R. 1 here recently, the John Lewis voting rights bill. Considering the current climate and the future climate of state politics, why is a federal measure as such important to South Carolina residents?
In the era that we are in now, that there has been a movement across the nation, particularly after what happened in Atlanta, Georgia, to hinder people from voting, particularly after the claims that our ex-president Trump made, which there was no evidence to back up his claims of voter fraud, that they are trying to make it as difficult as they can throughout these United States to hinder people from going to the voting booth.
Representative Dillard, the H.3620, the hate crimes bill, recently passed its second reading in the House. Can you explain the process of passing a bill and the importance of having such a bill?
Oh, absolutely. And we actually, today was actually third reading of the bill, and now the bill goes to the Senate for consideration. And, you know, let me just say, we had some Democrats at the forefront. Now, it was passed overwhelmingly bipartisan today and yesterday. So we took second reading yesterday and third reading today. But we had some Democrats who were members of the Judiciary Committee and the bill's sponsor, Representative Wendell Gilliard, he has worked on this bill for 6 years. And it was, they were relentless in trying to keep those categories of folks protected, because there was a time they wanted to take out LGBTQ, and it was like, no, we got to have them back in there, so just relentless. And so we celebrated today with a press conference and thanked them for their work. But this bill is important because it says that South Carolina will not tolerate hate because of race, religion, sexual orientation, or gender. And who knows better about that in South Carolina when we look at 2015, when the Emmanuel Nine lost their lives. People were worshiping and lost their lives due to the color of their skin at Mother Emmanuel. And we've had other incidences. And so this bill is important. And I do think that one of the things that was different this year that we did not have in the past is the business community stepped up and said, hey, we need South Carolina to pass a hate crime bill, because we were and are, since we don't fully have it passed yet, there are 3 states remaining in the United States that don't have a hate crime bill. And South Carolina is one of them. And Arizona is one of them. And I can't remember the third state, but they are racing to the finish line trying to beat South Carolina so they won't be last. So, we don't need to be at the bottom of an important bill like this. And so the business community, over 100 different organizations, for-profit, non-profit, the religious community, help step up and help bring some pressure to bear on our Speaker of the House and the leadership on the House side. And so we are grateful. We have never gotten this far. We are calling on our Senate brothers and sisters on the right and the left to do just what the House did, pass a bipartisan hate crime bill for South Carolina.
Thank you. And this is a question for either of you from the audience. What do you guys see South Carolina in 10 years as relating to policy and leadership?
Wow, that's a real big question. I hope well, let me just say, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by the platform tonight. You as young leaders who see the importance of talking about policy. I share Ms. Parks' aspirations for you that you will run for office. But I think that there has been an awakening since our last couple of elections. Well, it really started when President Trump was elected. There's been an awakening that, yes, I need to be involved in politics. Advocacy is important. You know, people are stepping up. And I hope that there will be a continued renewed spirit in that manner. I saw it with the fetal heartbeat bill. You know, the state house was really locked down to the public. You know, we were not having the public inside with us due to COVID, but women were circling the state house, honking their horns, and I would hear them. And so we went out and we talked to them. But there's been this renewed spirit, and I think that as more people are aware, more people are going to run. They're going to hopefully serve on boards and commissions. And I want to say that's an important place to serve on your local boards and commissions. But also we have state boards and commissions, and of course the county has state boards and commissions that we need you to be serving on. So I am hoping as the population in South Carolina continues to change, that maybe one day too, I don't know if it'll happen in 10 years like Georgia.
In 2019, the U.S. Census calculated that women accounted for 51.6% of the population in South Carolina. Currently, women make up for 17.65%, which is 30 out of 170 of the South Carolina General Assembly members. What representational issues have you noticed due to such a disproportion?
One of the bills that come to mind is equal pay for equal work. You know, we have had Representative Wendy Brawley introduced that bill now for several sessions. And I do believe that if we had more women in the State House and Senate, that we could get bills like that passed. And so, you know, that's just one example. You know, we've got the tax exemption for female hygiene products. That bill came up, but you know, they didn't see the need to do that. And the case was, you know, clearly stated that you know, why we should do that for young women and women still in that cycle of life. So that got shot down. And so there, and then sometimes there are things with that are just family related. And I always say that if you have a bill that's family related, men should be interested in that too, because they have women. I mean, they have women in their family. They might have daughters, they have sisters, but you know, women's issues are really family issues. But sometimes men don't understand because maybe they don't have to do those particular jobs, or they aren't as aware of what those jobs, I mean, what the bill actually will do. And so sometimes it's just a higher hurdle on our behalf trying to explain it, show the benefits of. And so unfortunately, because sometimes we don't have the numbers, those type of bills do not pass the General Assembly.
Thank you.